Welcome to the Ark Passive for Dummies video. We're going to go over all of the tabs of Ark Passive with Evolution, Enlightenment, Leap, how you get points in them, what you need to do to get more points in them, etc, etc. We're going to make it as simple as possible because I know even for me, it was very confusing when I started to use this system. I just was like, holy crap, it's overwhelming. I already had to learn tier 3 system and now we're getting Ark Passive, but everyone's getting Ark Passive. So you need to know where these points come from, how to get more of them, how to arrange them, all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the first tab, the Evolution tab, okay? You can think of this as your gear set tab. Previously, you had sets on your gear like Nightmare and Betrayal and Salvation or Hallucination or Charm or Yearning if you were support, right? You had those set bonuses from choosing whatever set you wanted to choose. Well, now all those bonuses are here in these nodes, okay? So for example, like there's crit rate here, there's crit rate here, or there's mana cost reduction here, there's mana cost reduction here, or cooldown reduction here. And so as you can see, there's just different nodes for different builds, but this is kind of like an all-inclusive page for your set on your armor. And as you can see, your armor is the featured gear on this page. So that's kind of where you should take that as. With this huge change, you are going to be getting evolution points on your gear all the way from tier 2. Everyone is getting it. However, starting from Brel Ancient armor, which this is what it is Youth of the World is Ancient for these patch notes. Relics are obviously Relic, it's the orange. Ancient is this gold color. Okay, so from here all the way from the Brel Ancient armor and on until you get Aegir Ancient armor, which is at 1680. So all the way from 1540 to 1680, you are going to be dealing with the same numbers for your Evolution tab in terms of what you get from your gear. Now, you get a base rate of 60, okay? As you can see here, base rate of 60 for these two gears. And when you upgrade them to level 2, which you got from doing Clown at 1475 eye level, and when you upgrade them to level 3 from your Kyngel pieces, which if you're coming into the game as a newer returning player and you've leveled your character with an event or a power pass or anything like that, your gear is already level 3, okay? So you don't have to worry about any of this stuff. You have a maximum of 80 points, okay? So 80 points here, 80 points here, and then also, guess what? In tier 4, 80 points on your relic gear. So that's why I say it's not going to change until you get Aegir Ancient pieces. You can start getting them at 1660 from normal Aegir, and you're getting these pieces week by week. Okay, so 80 points from your gear. Now, how do you get more points than that? Obviously, you can get up to 120. So you get points from your gear and your combat level. Now, your combat level from 50 to 70, you get 1 point per combat level. So for a total of 120 points eventually when you get all ancient gear. But until you start collecting ancient gear, when you start doing the Aegir raid, you're gonna have a maximum of 100 points because 80 from your gear plus 20 if you're level 70, that's 100. So that's your maximum amount of points that you're going to be able to attain. But what if you're not level 70? What if you're level 60? So this is where a lot of people are going to be at level 60 or maybe just a little bit higher. Now, as you can see, the total points that you can spend on each one of these levels or these tiers, as you can see, 40, 30, and 20. That's 90 points. So even at level 60, you're going to be able to get access to this entire row, and this entire row full of points. Once you start doing Aegir and getting these ancient pieces, which give more evolution points per piece, that's when you're going to get access to this 4th row because these pieces have more evolution points on them. All right. So once you do that, then of course you can level up and get more of these nodes, which each node is so much damage. Just with this tab, you're getting crazy amounts of gains in terms of power. So it's a very good system. It's very versatile. The coolest thing about this tab, guys, is I think your stats and being able to mess around with your crit rate or mana. That's a very beautiful thing about this. For example, if I have a crit synergy, I can take off this crit and put more into swiftness. It makes the class feel even better. There's many different options. It makes it very versatile. Of course, per build is going to be a little bit different, but that's why we have build guides like on Lost Ark Nexus and Maxwell.gg. So check those out for your specific class. But that's where you get points on the evolution tab, and that's how it's going to work from 1540 all the way up to 1660 when you're doing Aegir. As you can see, I almost have my last ancient piece. I'm going to get it next week, and then I'll have access to 2 of these nodes on this 4th line. But overall, just think about this as like your stats and your set bonus from tier 3. That's how you kind of look at it. Next up is the Enlightenment tab. Now, this tab was the most confusing for me, so I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible. Now, you can think of this tab as like your class engraving plus perks that come along with it page. So for me, I'm playing Slayer. I'm on Slayer right now, and this is the Punisher tree. Okay, this is the Punisher class engraving tree, this kind of side right here. This would be Predator, or the equivalent of Predator in tier 3, okay? And as you go down, of course, you get more bonuses for that class. And even on this 4th line here, this is like new stuff. This is the tier 4 stuff, right? This is the juicy stuff where you get a lot of cool QOL or big damage updates. Now, in saying that, to get the exact equivalent of your previous class engraving in tier 3, you would need all of these filled out, okay? Just like this. You would need 3 points on this last one, 3 points here, and 1 on this one, or just the equivalent of 3 rows, okay? These are like optional nodes. These just give you a little bit of a perk. They cost a lot less points. For example, this only costs 2 points, right, to put it into. But these cost 24 per line, so this one costs 8 per click, so to speak, okay? And you can see it says 8p right here, so 8 points, just like this one, 8 points, okay? Now, how do you get points for this tab? Well, you get them through accessories, through the new accessory system. You get them from your combat level, and you get them from Enlightenment point potions, very similar to skill point potions that gave you extra skill points to use on your skills. There are Enlightenment point potions to get in tier 4 now that give you more points in your alignment tree. So how do these all add up? Now, in terms of what you're going to be dealing with, it's going to be very similar from the evolution tab in the fact that from 1540 all the way to actually hard mode Aegir, which is 1680, you're going to be dealing with the same amount of points from your accessories, okay? So as you can see here, you're dealing with 46 points on your Enlightenment tree from your accessories all the way until ancient Aegir, or ancient accessories, which come from hard mode Aegir at 1680. Now, just a quick overview of the new accessory system. You can think of them kind of like bracelets, but you don't get to re-roll their perks, okay? There's no engravings on them, but you roll perks on them, and not only do they get little like damage perks or MP perks or whatever. For example, this ring has crit damage and crit rate on it and some weapon power, which is a pretty good roll. They also give more Enlightenment points per roll. So they start out with only 3 Enlightenment points, these accessories, these earrings and these rings. Necklaces have a little bit more, but they all start out at a base Enlightenment point. And as you roll them to a maximum of 3, they get up to their maximum amount of Enlightenment points per accessory, which is for rings and earrings. For rings and earrings, it is 9 on your relic accessories. And for your necklace, it's going to be 10. Now, if the quality, and this is something you really need to listen to, if the quality is below 67 quality, just dismantle it, okay? You are not going to want to roll anything. You are not going to want to spend gold and your shards to refine these accessories at all if they're below 67 quality, because that means they can't get their maximum amount of Enlightenment points, and you want the maximum amount of Enlightenment points. But there's tons of accessories out there, so don't worry about it. If it's below 67, dismantle it. That way you can rack up on shards to actually use those to refine your accessories that you do want, okay? But once you refine it 3 times, you'll have the maximum amount of Enlightenment points. Now, from your relic accessories, which I'm not going to go over ancient accessories from that you get from Aegir at 1680, because by the time you get there, you will be very familiar with the system, and you're going to know it like the back of your hand. It's not going to be too hard to navigate. So we'll just go over the accessories that you'll get up until Aegir hard mode, which are the ancient tier 4 accessories. You will have 46 points from your accessories, okay? And then, like we said, you'll have a maximum of 20 points from your combat level. From 50 to 70, you get 1 point per level, just like your evolution tab. So let's say you're level 60, okay? And you have 46 points from your accessories now. So that's 56 points. So this one takes 24. This one takes another 24 to max out, so that's 48. Now, this one takes 8 points. Then you have 56. So, boom, you're going to be able to get 1 point into this tab. Now, where else do you get points, though? Right? So, you can still earn 10 more points in this tab from getting your combat level up to level 70, which just by playing the game and doing your dailies, things like that, you get combat XP for literally everything you do. So, just by playing the game naturally, you're going to be leveling up each week. Usually, it takes about 1 week to get 1 extra level, a little bit less than a week. Lots of times if you're running extra cubes or whatever it is, you can definitely level up quicker. But if you're just casually playing, you're probably gonna level up about 1 level per week, okay? 1 combat level from 60 to 70 per week-ish, somewhere around there. You can definitely do it faster though. But again, where do you get more points? Now, I mentioned the Enlightenment skill potions, okay? So real quick, we can go to the codex over here, and we just go to the codex. And you can look up any item in the codex and see where you get it. Okay, so we're gonna go Enlightenment. Well, hold on, maybe. It does usually lag a bit because it's accessing literally every single item. So we'll just type in Enlightenment, and we'll see that there are these different potions. Now, these legendary ones give you 3 per potion. This relic one gives you 5, okay? So these are things that you really want to get on. It's like right now, you want to be starting to get them as soon as possible. This one comes from the Adventure Tome in North Curzan, getting it to 70%, and you just get that by doing things in that region, killing the monsters, finding the hidden stories. Guys, go to maxroll.gg. They have a great guide on how to just get everything quick, okay? So get this one, that's 3 points. Now, doing this Una's quest, the Abydos Garrison Unfinished Fight Reputation, it will also give you 3 points for doing that for enough days. So it's actually these 2 quests right here. So you'll start out on Nightmare Shadow, and you get this once you complete North Curzan, the quest line, okay, the MSQ. So once you do that, you'll have access to this. It is a shard reward. It's an Abydos Garrison in North Curzan. As you can see, it's Nightmare Shadow. You'll do this for, I think, a couple days, maybe 3 or 4 days, and then you'll get access to this one to stand again. You have to complete this bar, get it to 14 or 140, and you get 10 per day. Okay, and when you do that, you get the reward of that Enlightenment point potion. You get another 3 points, which is huge. So let's say you do those 2 things. Let's say you get those 6 points, okay? So if you get those 6 points, and let's say you're level 62, your combat level 62, and you get those 6 points as well, well, now you can put another point into this tab, okay, which is massive. Now, once you get to 70, if you have those 2 potions as well, just those 2 that you can get, anyone can get them, they're not RNG, you just go and complete the stuff and get it done. Once you get to combat level 70, you're gonna have this, you're gonna be here, okay? Because you're gonna have 72 points. Now, that relic one that you just saw, it is an RNG drop from the field boss in North Curzan. I'm not sure exactly what the chance is, but there is a pity on it. I believe it's 13 or 15. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, guys. But make sure and start doing that field boss. You have to be 1640 to enter it. Make sure and try to get that every time it's up. I think there's 3 or 4 per week. So it has a small chance to drop, but it's worth 5 points. Okay, so that's going to help big time. And what you're really looking at here is once you get to combat level 70 and you get that relic, and you get all those points, then you're going to be able to put a few in one of these side nodes for your character. Okay, but really the biggest thing that you should be looking to do on this tree is get these 3 nodes fully completed. Okay, because for example, this first tab, as you can see, the outgoing damage in burst mode is 10%, but if I get 3, it's 30%. That's a huge difference, right? You get a lot of power from finishing this, along with, of course, every node from your evolution tab as well. Okay, so combat level is your friend, guys. It is something that you're going to want to work on. Just, do your cubes, do your dailies, get the stuff done. You get experience from everything. Now, in terms of the leap tab, you can see over here that it's a bracelet. So the bracelets do have something to do with this, but because we're still in tier 3 bracelets, unfortunately, hopefully we're going to be getting those tier 4 bracelets soon. I believe from the relic bracelet, you'll get 9 points, and from the ancient bracelet, you'll get 18 leap points. Now, where else do you get leap points from? Well, you get them from your combat level again here. So you get 2 points on your leap tab per combat level. So if you're level 60, you're going to have 20 points to spend on this first bar here. We don't have access to the second bar yet because number one, we only have 40 points, and you have to max out this bar before you can go to the next one. So we're only going to get points when we get those bracelets, and they come with Brel. So hopefully that will happen very soon. I'm excited for that, and you get access to that. But this is more for your hyper awakening and hyper awakening skill. That's pretty much all you need to know in terms of the fundamentals for each one of these tabs, where you get the points and why they're important. Okay, for the engraving system, which is now going to be different, right? Because your engravings are no longer on your accessories. So let's take a look at that. Over on the engraving tab, the cool thing about this is that you can access and put on any engravings you want, and it's based upon the books that you've already read. So there's also an extra level now, which is relic. Okay, so there's epic, which is the purple, there's legendary, which is the gold, and then there's relic, which is the burnt orange color. Okay, so but now you can access 5 of these engravings. So for example, I had these 5 on, but you can also see here that I have a little glowing thing here with my rock in the middle. So your rocks still matter, because on your rock, for whatever nodes you cut, however many you get, if you get enough, those specific engravings that you have equipped get a little bonus. So for example, as you can see, I get bonus damage from move speed, which, since I have enough points or enough nodes on this rock, it's level 2. On Ambush Master, I get a little bit of outgoing damage because of my ability stone, because it's level 1. So I get a little bit more. And the break points for those nodes are level 6. You get upgraded to the first tier for that specific engraving. So I get a little bit. At level 7 or 7 nodes on that rock, you go to level 2. On 9, you get level 3. And on 10, you get a level 4. Okay, so cutting like a 10-7 stone would be insane, obviously. But guys, all you really need, something that's really doable, and you pretty much, most people will be able to do this, even if you have to use a calculator, will be getting a 6-7 or a 7-7 stone. Okay, 7-7 is fantastic. That's like amazing, but 6-7 is also very doable, and you're gonna get a really good damage increase even from 6-7. Okay, so don't go out and buy 100 rocks just to get a 7-7 if you already have a 6-7. All right, guys, you can just settle with a 6-7. I promise it's not that much of a difference in damage, especially with how much damage you get from Ark Passive. It's wild. But that is how the engraving system works. And just like previous systems, you can switch the tab for, if you have a chaos run, like for example, this is my chaos, and this is my boss run. These are my raids, engravings, right? Which is really cool. So that's pretty much how everything works. The only change with engravings is that instead of having to read 20 books to get increased level or any benefit out of it towards the next stage, now you can see these little nodes here, and all these are empty because I haven't read any relic books. But whenever you read 5 books, it goes to the next tier in that engraving. So as you can see here under relic, the grudge, it adds another 0.75%. So if I read 5 relic grudge books, I would get another 0.75% from this engraving. And then if I read 10, then I would get 1.5, and then 15 I get 2.25, and if I read all 20 relic books, I would have gained 3% more damage on top of what the damage is right now. Okay, so that's kind of how engravings work. It's a good system. It's very easy to just switch these around however you like. So as you can tell, guys, this Ark Passive system is much more intuitive. It's very flexible. It's very versatile. You just have to learn how to use it. Once you start messing around with the Ark Passive system, you will get it. I promise it's not too tough, but those are the basics. I hope that none of that was overwhelming. I just really wanted to go over the fundamentals of how you get the points, where you get them from, and the importance of them. But I promise, guys, you will come to enjoy the system, even if it's pretty new and it's a little bit scary right now. I promise you're going to enjoy it. It is a great overhaul to how you gain power in this game. And guys, that's pretty much it for this video, though. I am so excited for Loan. I know this change is coming for us on the 18th. I can smell it, along with a lot of other good changes. Guys, Loan is tonight. I'm going to stay up. It's tonight for us. It's like very early tomorrow morning. I'm going to stay up. I'm going to be streaming the whole thing. So come hang out, man. Join the hype. It's going to be very, very exciting. But I stream 6 out of 7 days a week pretty much. Guys, I'm live every evening, every afternoon to evening. So come out, hang out. It's a good time. It's just twitch.tv/itsstubla. But that is everything for this video. Let me know if you have any questions about this system. If something's very confusing to you, I'll do my best to help you out. Guys, that is everything for this video. Bye-bye.